Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Blue Green Ocean Road with your host, David R. Stenberg. Sitting inside for once is Captain Morgan.
You're on the
In
bridge.
in the bridge because the wife is out of town and she's not sleeping upstairs.
Woo!
That's,
Party at George's.
that's how you been.
Yeah, pretty good, buddy. I'm reading Isaac Storm. But the 1900 hurricane that hit Galveston, Texas.
Wow, yes. Wasn't that a mighty storm? Wasn't that a mighty storm in the morning? Wasn't that a mighty storm that blew all those people all away? Remember that, Mike? Galveston
Yeah.
storm?
Galveston flood. How you doing?
That was
Mike,
Dave,
what's going on, man?
how you doing?
I was reading
David's telling us about the book he's reading.
Isaac Storm. 1900 hit Galveston. Um, the weird thing about this, well, it's I don't know, eye-opening, I guess, is that at that time we had gone from sailing ship to steel ships, right? And our technology was getting to a point where we like we didn't think much could bug us anymore because we're the big smart, human beings. And then and this was weather and all that. It's funny, it's not funny. It's tragic actually. 6,000 people died. Galveston's flat, and then it's just this little thing. And most times when you're down there, it's beautiful. Like it's the Gulf. It's warm. It's like a beach. It's great, but it's like 2 feet above sea level. And the science at the time said that all hurricanes took a right and went up. They never went into the Gulf.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Cubans, who have a lot of experience with hurricanes, with saying different stuff. But the thing they didn't want is panic all the time because they said, Jesus, everything's a hurricane. Everybody's like getting in the cellars for wind. But they were right about a lot of times. They were right too, and it was annoying that they were actually just cutting them off. They weren't even letting them use Western Union to send anything, like even to their own newspapers and stuff. And they knew that went over their head. They go, it's heading for you. I'm telling you, you gotta. And then they were acting kind of. This is the worst part, I think. That nobody really know that morning. Everybody's just kind of going to work, doing all this shit. They used to having storms. They actually like to watch them. They were like an event because nobody had TV or nothing, right? So like, all right, a storm. So they're playing it off kind of like they're in this restaurant, and things are coming by, and it's getting weird. But everybody's just kind of laughing it off, like being kind of manly. It says they got serious when a child's body went by. That's when it all got real. I mean, for those people.
Right. Yeah.
Now, a big part of that tragedy was when people were trying to escape the town on rail during the storm.
No, they came into
But
town, and there was a rail. Yeah, there was a train that just got flooded. Also, they had slate roofs. All had slate, and that was like cutting off heads and arms and things because they were flying around. There was
Oh, the slates themselves were being torn off the roofs and
yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. Holy shit is right. So this is the thing. I made a video. I'm gonna post it later, a YouTube video about fixing this book, right? Because I got like 50 pages to go, right? And this thing was fixed with wood glue, and like it cracks and it like pages are full. Like everything's like I'm like, oh damn, man! It is this good part, you know what I mean? Good part. The part, the end. So, and this guy Isaac, he was a meteorologist who was kind of new, and yeah, he bought it because he was the weatherman and he didn't see it coming, or he thought he didn't have much leeway in that case.
They didn't have satellites back then.
No, they're the Cubans.
It's like the 38 hurricane that hit Providence. Nobody was ready for that.
That's
they
right.
had the telegraphs, and they had people reporting isometric pressure and weather data from all around, though. You could accumulate the data through telegraph and radio. And so you can put the information together. So meteorology was a burgeoning science at the time. But at that point, you could gather a lot of data from different places and put together like a reasonable weather map.
Getting it out to the people, though.
But it was still in its infancy.
Yeah,
My
I don't
grandfather
remember a
was telling
whole
me
lot
about-
of hoopla about the blizzard of '78. Do you? That kind
Well,
of
that was a mistake. That was supposed to be 4 to 6 inches.
yeah. So even back then,
Yeah.
you know, I went to school. I went to Providence. A lot of everybody's like, do, 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 do. And people died in that. When I went up on 295,
Just another snowstorm.
when I went up on 295, when I got up on Route 6, there was a tractor trail truck sideways on the top of the hill. And all the traffic was back except for that U. I was able to do that. And now I'm going up on 295. I'm heading up there. And I can see on a guardrail, there's like this big old black car. And it's one of those old guys with the hat that you could see it. He was sitting in there. And it was, but he'd come off the highway and he was up on the rail, on the guardrail, just sitting there. You know, says, huh. He's, you know, don't look like he made it. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Some of the cars that we walked on, like the ones out in front of the Civic Center, we were walking on them because you were walking on the snow and then you'd be walking on cars. Well, some of those cars had dead people in them.
Yep. Yeah.
We didn't know. I mean, you couldn't tell. People stayed in their cars and just died in there, you know?
So we had a fire here in the woods. So we're in a drought. So we got that. So we got like wildfires here. Anyway, that's just the thing about this. It's just like the sea captains. Like they were all of them had been sailing wooden ships and sails, and then now that they had big steel steam engines and you know what I mean. They were like the attitude was, no, you're wrong, and like we got it now, like nothing bad can happen, everything will be fine, you know. Heads in the sand kind of shit when it comes to everything, it seems. We get that way, and then so anyway, this is a bite of reality.
I just was reading yet another article about the Atlantic mid-ocean current slowing down up by Greenland.
Yeah.
And we've got our head in the sand about that one too, you know.
I'm just whatever. I'm ignoring it because there's nothing much you can do now. I mean, fail, big fail. That was that ice, that one I read about the ice, those ice fields and whatnot. That's what they said, that this is what the planet used to look like. This is a lull. You know, the weather on this planet is usually shit, you know, for us. It's just a solid block of ice or whatever, you know. This is like a little break in Milankovitch.
That's right. Those conditions are still there, and even with global warming, we can put off the ice age for maybe 1,000 years, but it's going to hit anyway.
Sure. But we just want to be nice, for now. You know, save it. You know, let's not hurry it up. You know,
They're nice for us.
People. Nice for us, of course we do. There's nothing wrong with that, eh?
Well, yeah. I mean, the plan's going to shake us off anyway. You know. So nope. Now it's time for a different thing. It's going to be more oxygen or whatever the fuck happens next. You know?
We definitely got a lot more ice ages coming.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a while before the conditions change enough that the ice ages won't happen.
Well, we got that. The way we circle, sometimes we go in a way out, and then it comes back.
Yeah, and then combined with the tilting of the planet,
right,
doing this, and the fact that there are land masses at the poles.
Yep. That
reflect heat. So when those land masses finally move again away from the poles, then the planet will really warm up.
Yeah.
And we won't have ice ages anymore. We'll still have that wobble, but you kind of need all those three things in place.
Also, you need North
America. They're going to be in place for a long time.
You need the land masses up here. I mean, they just kept it up here. If they went down south, then we'd have that problem down there, and this place would be all fine. You know, it's where
Well,
the
you
continents are
got
too.
land. You got a landmass at the north and the south pole, and they both reflect heat. So when they move back to the center, and those places are dark again, the ocean is dark. That will absorb heat, and yeah, it'll be like some other kind of dinosaur running around.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll miss it. Hey,
Well,
Mikey.
yeah, I would love to come back every 10 million years and see how things change.
Yeah.
See what other kind of creatures evolve. Oh, look at this. This is festive. Hey, Mike, where are you?
I'm hiding in the graveyard.
He's an owl. That's cool.
How you doing?
Ooh, creeping behind the
Ooh, me?
stones.
Who? I get it.
Ooh.
Who? Hey, I can get big. We're all here. We're recording. All right.
Sorry. No, John. Gotta do that. We can't have Dave be the only one.
So, I got to be careful with this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I hit it last night. You ever get so baked that you start shaking, right? Just
No.
like your
Shaking
skeleton's
bake?
just gonna rattle like out of your body and start dancing by itself. I got one of them.
Shake and bake, and I help.
Just, I had to get under the sheets and just. I mean, it's a cool feeling. It's just like I don't know. I just got under there.
The first time I tried vape oil like that, I took too much. I took a couple of really big hits, and it was like a 90% THC thing. And then Sequoia said, and then Dad got quiet for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is a familiar feeling, but it's way more intense than I've ever felt. This is definitely a drug, but it's still familiar.
Yeah. I know what's going on. I didn't panic or nothing, right? I didn't think like anything else was happening.
I didn't either.
I used to have like my first time with Sesamilia out in California. I smoked it like it was Colombian. That was a mistake. Made a cigar.
Yeah. Now that's all you can get. You can't even get weed with seeds in it anymore. It's all Sesame.
I was really good at the seeding. I had like a cafeteria tray.
There's a skill you don't need anymore.
No.
That's something that kids nowadays don't know anything about.
No. Not about getting arrested for it either.
De-seeding your weeds and de-weeding your seeds when you have nothing left.
Oh, yeah. And going back in there, double dipping. Yeah. Ooh, a roach. I hope that's a roach. I think it's a roach. I'll smoke it anyway.
Cheers.
Yeah, so this one, it's a new one, right? That's the thing. I had this one, right? It's kind of dry, right? So I'm like, just to get it to work. So I go from that. I said, fuck it, I'm putting in a new one. So it's the new one. So I'm getting like, this is like a bong one. It's new.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what happened.
This is my new crop. Finally, it's almost ready. I've been curing it. It's almost.
All right, Farmer Mike. Farming.
Hey, I had to harvest early, and it's not as good as what I've been buying high test at the dispensary, like the highest THC that they sell, Like back in the day, even good weed was like 17, 18%.
Yeah.
And now you can get 30%. It's crazy. This is about 22% here. About. Still, all it takes is this little pipe, and I get really baked.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll take me nothing. That's it. That one. I just did one. I'm going to see what happens next. I'm going to see. I want to draw something.
I always want to play my guitar.
Yeah,
or
drum.
Do something. Go out for a hike or do something,
Yeah, I got all kinds of hobbies. Well, last night I fixed this book. I love the way it comes out. I love that glue. I got it really down to a science now.
What kind of glue do you use?
Archive glue. Yeah. It's
Bad
for
smooth.
paper. PVA, pH neutral, like wood glue and stuff. Discolors the paper, and it
Yeah,
does.
wood glue is made out of some kind of plastic resin, aliphatic resin.
But look at this. The book opens. That's how it opens. This stuff is really like pliable, and I got it down to where I just use I don't use a brush or nothing. I work in a light coat, let it dry, and then I put it on a little thicker. Um, yeah, this comes out. It's great. I actually there's sometimes when I buy a new book, if it's big and it's got like the binding, like you know you got to wrestle it. I think sometimes I consider like just cutting that off and just redoing it with this, just because
Huh.
it's really a joy. Just I like a book that just is worn out. You know,
Did you
just open up?
did you pull the cover off?
Oh yeah, I had to. It was all wood glue. It was like elements. It was thick, and it was just coming out, and you know it was falling out. I made a video. I'll send you the link later. I'll put up on my site. I haven't made one in a while. It's really a good one,
Hey,
actually. Probably
Hey,
my
send these
best
two
one.
guys the link to the playlist I made. The country music playlist.
You don't have that? You should start one, Mike.
No, send it to Mike and George. They don't
Mike,
have
start
it.
a playlist. Start it. Start one.
I did. It's on your thing.
You can't send it.
You got to send it to George and Mikey.
I'm saying you should make one. You got YouTube. You got Google, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So make one. Send them to us. Make more than one. Make a couple of them. This is my rock and roll one. This is my funny
Oh,
video
yeah.
one.
That's what I plan on doing, but I want to send them the country one that I already made.
Yeah, but then you don't have to rely on me to do shit that I probably won't do because I
Jesus
forget.
Christ. All right, never mind. Forget I asked.
Thank you. Please make one. Just make one. It's not hard, you know.
I know. I just made one.
You didn't make
You got
one.
like 53 songs on
You're
it.
using the one I put together just to show you how to
You
do
didn't
it.
put it together. You didn't
You
put
must-
anything in it.
Now it's time to kick you out of the nest and let you fly.
Oh, Jesus.
Fly, baby, fly. I give you the tools. Didn't I? Now it's a thing. Should make another one. I was gonna make one I find funny videos. I was gonna start one of them. Maybe not bug you with it, but I just start one. Oh, I got one camping with Steve. I made one of those.
Oh, did
My
you?
favorite ones. The number one was he did that medium in between a highway. He did it on the highway. He just ran in. It was like all snow and like he's surrounded by trees. So like if a truck lost control, there's no way it could get him. You know, I like that one a lot. And he gets all excited when he gets in there. You know, it's just like, yeah, this is it. First, it's like, oh, what am I doing? Because his wife goes away. This is back when he had his wife still. And it's like that feeling. Like he always says, oh, I got that feeling. Like I'm committed now. You know. So I got one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see them. He hasn't put a new one out in a while.
Yeah, he did one. He's when. Yeah, it's been a
It
while.
was a few weeks back.
Yeah, a few weeks. Not like he used to.
No, it used to be every week.
But he doesn't have crazy neighbor. Crazy neighbor was a lot of help, you know. And
Yeah.
his
Plus, he
wife.
did so many of them. Like he's kind of running out of ideas. I think
Well, he always says that. It was great. He did one. His shoes started to fall apart. Right, he goes down. Do you see that one? His sneakers falling apart. Right. And he goes, I gotta really do something. I gotta go get some shoe glue. That's what he got. I need something like shoe glue. He did. He just kept going, you know. But I mean, this thing was flopping away. Yeah, he's
I
funny.
have some of that. I have
Yes,
shoe
you-
goo. I've done that. George
Shoe
turned me on
glue.
to that shoe goo.
Fucking shoe.
It's really what it's called, shoe goo.
It's what it is now, man. It's this
Oh
one.
no, it's Gorilla Glue.
Ugh, that's how it's foul, man. It always foams out.
Yeah, it's good. Works
Is it good?
Works good.
It's good when it's someplace you can't see it.
I glued my canoe paddles together with it, and I put them in water. I mean, like, you know,
Yeah,
It activates with water.
I used it to hold up ferret stripping up against the cement in my cellar, and that held. You know. Yeah, I use it, but I mean, it's like I wouldn't use it in a book. I saw somebody do that to a book. Did that foamy bullshit, right? That's
Oh,
really the worst.
yeah, that's
you know?
not what you use it for.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like not good for everything. But yeah, be careful. Be careful with that shit. My father used to use that weld. It says weld
Oh,
two
yeah.
pot epoxy. He used it
Yeah.
on the engine block. Everybody thought he was nuts. He says, "What are you doing? You gluing the engine block?" He goes, "Yeah." And I remember I was just a kid. I was going, "Wow, that works." And he drove the car, so yeah, it works.
Yeah, it worked.
It does work. But he's
JB
gluing.
Weld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that.
I use that for rail parts, gluing rail parts together.
Oh yeah. Epoxy's good.
Some of them are small and you can't use fasteners, so you got to use like an epoxy.
It comes up once in a while. Once in a while, you need that.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah, so all this beautiful weather. I've been up in Cambridge while you guys were home enjoying all the beautiful weather.
Yeah, I was chasing the comet.
Yeah, did you finally see it?
Nope.
No?
Too much haze
Yeah.
and light pollution and shit. I looked right at it, but it wasn't there. I couldn't see it anyway. There's still a chance. I should get my big rig out and just blast it because it's higher in the sky. It's less visible, but it's higher, so it's there.
Right.
So like I
Right.
need
The
it to
moon
get
is
darker.
not as bright now.
Yeah, it was too close to the sun for me.
Yeah. Sequoia got a really good picture of it.
Well, yeah, where was he though? Where was he?
He was at the same place I was over here on North Road.
Oh yeah, that'll work. Yeah, up there, your way.
Yeah.
Sure. That was a nice spot. I used to work every night. I missed that place. I missed that hill. That was my hill. It was mine.
So there was a guy up there. There was a lot, like I said last week, there was a lot of people up there. And one guy had come all the way from Attleboro. He was just driving around looking for places to see the thing. He finally found North Road from Attleboro.
Yeah. Wow.
Then he didn't know where to see it. Like everybody's looking at it. He's like, I can't see it. I drove all this way. I showed him how to
To
find
the
it.
west. There's that observatory down in South County too. Something dew, frosty dew.
Oh, over at Ninigret, yeah.
Well, the sky's
There's also
good
one on Peep Toad Road in Situate.
there.
Have you ever been to that one?
I went by. All right. I do
Seagrave.
I
It
kept
was almost
track
like
of it,
right
but-
near in your neighborhood, almost.
Yeah, it was one night a month, and it seemed like clouds loved that day. You know, yeah. I gave it an attempt, but it was always that.
Mhm.
I could, but then this guy went no. But that happens to me a lot. You
Yes.
know, I mean, well, it seems I think that's one of the cool things about it is you have these fail stories that are actually more compelling than the time you actually successfully saw something. You know, I mean, those seems to be the ones I like to tell to other guys who do it. You know,
Halley's Comet. I failed that one.
yeah, I looked
I
right
went and
at
looked
it.
at it.
Yep, 2 fists above
Cloudy.
the horizon. I was in Quonset Point. I was looking over the ocean.
Yeah, I went to Narragansett.
It was 4 in the morning, something like that. It was like a nutty time, but I was working anyway. So
No, I got up for this and I
I
went
didn't.
there. And
Well, I
it was
woke up-
cloudy.
I woke up. Yeah, I was at work. I woke up to do it. So I set my alarm. Hey, it's just me and you, I guess.
Mikey and George have left us.
Yeah.
I'm troubleshooting my camera.
Ah,
My
He's
cat
still here.
stepped on my lap. My cat stepped on my laptop.
oh man.
Maybe it was more than
Yeah,
Go
stepping.
to settings.
It hit something.
Go to settings.
I'm in settings. Yeah.
Reboot.
I made end this and get back on.
Yeah, you're accepted now. You just when you come back, just hit the link. You should just come right back in.
Okay.
You are part of the group. Cause I went, yeah. I want to do no more clicking. No more click. I'll make a playlist, make you all hate me. I have like the first one on top is the Beastie Boys. Like Intergalactic. You ever see that one?
You ever hear their
Never really liked
instrumental
those
album?
guys.
Yeah, I thought so. I like them a lot. I
You ever
had
hear
that
the
album. That's an
instrumental?
album. I just come across somebody gave me it, whatever, you know. And I couldn't stop listening to it. They
That the
like
instrumental
they like
one?
Star Trek and shit.
Is that the rap
How
album?
many deadheaders are left now?
I had a shitload of dead at one time. Retrospective, all that. The Terrapin Station, Mars
That was a really
Hotel,
good album.
Oxa Moxa,
Yeah.
um, American Beauty. Holy shit, I wore that one out. Friend of the Devil.
Phil
and all that.
Lesh is dead. I think Phil
United
Lesh
States.
just died. The
Yeah,
bass
Phil Lesh is
player.
dead. Yep. Yeah, I like
That's
a lot of
just,
their albums.
I had that time, but it's been a while since I move on.
So who's
Wow.
left? Just Bob? Who's left? Just Bob and Mickey?
Bob,
so.
Mickey, and Bill Kreutzmann.
I worked with a guy who
On the
actually
Gene
hit my
Scott show.
tickets to see the Dead back in the day. He's one of those guys.
She's still sleeping.
George used to be a big Deadhead. He had all them the bootleg out, all them tapes and shit. Was that you? That was you, right? George,
Yeah, I still have some of them.
I bet. Oh,
Actually, it was
no shit.
it was somebody else's collection, and he got booted out of his house.
Dick's
So
Picks.
I was hanging on to his collection for a while there, and it was pretty extensive at the time. It was supposed to have been pretty near complete with only a couple of shows missing, and it was like about
It was a lot.
like
It was a box.
well over
You know what was amazing about that guy?
tapes.
You know what was amazing about that guy, that whose collection it was? He knew all the songs on every one of those tapes. If you named a show, he could tell you what.
Well, he knew the set list. Yeah, I mean, you get that's.
Well,
You know the set list. Yeah, you can trade set lists.
he probably filled
you
in
can talk
the
set
cards.
lists.
I mean, he wrote it down once, and then what do you got to stare at back then? But the album, right? Just
I don't know. That's true, but
I
you
should
used to have to write in the set lists on the tape, and so I guess there's a familiarization with that through that anyway. But I think I gave them all back, and then I noticed a box that I think still belonged to him, but I have.
No way will they
I think
work.
he notices them
Technically,
gone.
they still belong to him, and I don't know.
Do you think he notices them gone, or did he just replace
I'm
them?
sure he does. Yeah, I mean, if he's that adept at his collection, he probably knows.
He's
it.
probably already replaced them by now.
Yeah,
If
I
you
mean,
can.
it's.
Oh yeah.
You can really. I mean, it's a huge thing. People trade these things back and forth all the time. It's much easier online now when they convert everything digitally, and so you don't even need to carry around 2,000 tapes anymore. You can just have it on the smallest of hard drives. And
2,000 tapes, 2,000,
Yeah.
2,000 of them.
I think there's. I'm not sure. 2,000 or 3,000 shows. No, 2,000 shows maybe. I don't know.
That'd be
I
easy.
can't. I'm not that big of a deadhead. Not
Yeah,
that I
but
ever
every-
was.
He's got a recording of every show they ever did.
Do you have Worcester,
Yeah,
February
it's out there.
of 1976?
Oh yeah, that's that time when Jerry did that little thing on the guitar,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That went on 20
they
minutes.
started off with Scarlet Fire, and it was just great. It was Scarlet Begonias and To Fire the Mountain, and that was Jerry's night that night.
Yeah, it was when the
yeah.
It was
heroin
the night
kicked
before
in.
was
Fire.
Bobby's night, and it was wonderful. But yeah, I remember. Well, anyway, that's how the jargon goes, the lingo goes. But I don't know. I never quite. I always enjoyed it. I mean, certainly enjoyed every show I went to, but never quite could get that far, I guess.
yeah,
You know.
I like people think like Kermit's always saying you don't like the Dead because I never want to see like Grateful Dead tribute bands. Like no, I like a lot of their albums. I just don't think they were the pinnacle of music.
Dead disco.
Well, who thinks that about anything?
Dancing
The
in
pinnacle.
street.
Who holds the title of the pinnacle of music? That's ridiculous. I mean, who would
Right.
think that?
Right.
Yeah, like Jimmy Page stole all that music. No, there's just a certain way to play blues. They're the same.
We're very rich in wonderful artists that can play all different kinds of music, and we can enjoy each and every one on their own merit. We don't need to. There's no king of music.
Because
competition
There's king of
in music.
anything, really.
There's no competition.
There's
in
just
music.
a beautiful landscape of excellent musicians and music. You know,
I
Well
do anything
said.
I want on my
you
couch.
can enjoy it
said.
all.
Don't say that to the bluegrass guys.
No,
They
that
compete
includes
over everything.
bluegrass.
Bluegrass is
That's
a
one of the
wonderful
wonderful
landscape
things
too,
in
and
our
that's
musical
part of it.
rainbow.
Yeah, but they compete over everything.
No, that's well
Oh,
said, George.
just like
Well
that
said.
with every niche is like that. You know, they got people like that. I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Like Lou
Like
and
that in
Davis.
anything, whether it's movies
I
or
know some
anything.
people used to only listen to Led Zeppelin.
Just
And I
that.
love Led Zeppelin, but they don't want to only listen to Led Zeppelin. You
I know.
No, that's ridiculous. You
No.
know?
Well, I had to listen to Led Zeppelin all the time because I only had 3 tapes.
Well, yeah, there was that back then, but these guys had
Did you
options.
ever ask somebody what kind of music they listen to, and they say, "Oh, I listen to everything," and then when it comes down to it, they listen to like 3 things.
Right. I listen to
Yeah,
both
well, they
guys.
probably have three phases.
Did you
Like
ever
you guys
listen
were talking about
I
the
listen to
I listen to the
Beastie
Grateful
Boys.
Dead and the
I
Jerry
never could
Garcia
listen.
Band.
I never. The what?
I listen to both kinds of music. I listen to the Grateful Dead and the Jerry Garcia Band.
There it is.
Oh man, this is Jerry Garcia live show that I have. I can't listen to it anymore because he's obviously on, in the throes of heroin, and
heroin
it's
is
like this
kicked in.
droning friggin' music. It's unlistenable. If I hear it, I can't stand it. I can't listen to it.
Are you talking
It's
about
like
Live Dead?
Jesus
That's
Christ.
blasphemous.
They put a
You can't say that. That's
they put a
blasphemy.
mic in front of this guy while he's on heroin.
I
Oh
think
my God, that's blasphemy.
in
Yeah,
Woodstock,
it
I
is.
think,
Well, that's why I could never get that far with these people, like I just, it just wasn't, you know. Of course, I have very fond memories of going to the shows and hanging out in the parking lots and all that other stuff. But
Yeah, right.
to me, that was the sum total of it. But anyway, I like concert going, and that used to be the most wonderful thing you could do when you were young, is to go to these concerts, and,
Yeah.
and they made it so accessible. You could go there with like $6, $7, $13 at the most to go see a wonderful show, and you didn't have to buy it months and sometimes
$5
years
for
ahead of
weed.
time. You could just show up and say, "Let's go to a show," and it would
That's
be
right.
wonderful. They'd put on this, and they were magical experiences in most cases. It was just wonderful. And it doesn't seem that accessible anymore. It just doesn't seem like the same thing anymore. Kids don't get the same
$800?
opportunity. Yeah, and you gotta buy it 6-8 months in advance, and it's like,
And pay
what the fuck,
$800.
They don't even do
Yeah.
the lighter thing anymore. They don't even hold up their lighters anymore. They hold up their phone.
oh,
It's like that's
No,
not.
they
Yeah,
gotta do
that's-
that for.
that's not
This is
bad.
how
and
they
then
watch
when they're
shit.
watching it, they got their
Hey, how you
phone like
doing?
this. They're holding everybody's got their phone holding. It's like, what the fuck is that all about? Just watch the show, listen, experience it. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I forgot
It's
to
like,
hit
I
record.
can't.
My battery's dead.
It's not the same anymore. It's nothing. It's
No, of
just
course not.
nothing.
Why would it be?
But this,
They never activated a Bic lighter in a civic center, and it shows.
And it shows.
Yeah, they'll never know what it's like to lose all their music in an 8-track tape machine.
yes, and to just very carefully, like unravel it into a paper bag so you can wind it
So
very
you can
carefully back
cry.
up and use some splicing tape, the old Scotch tape for splicing
Yeah.
tape and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. You got
Those were
tape
the
everywhere.
days, man.
You got tape on your lip.
You worked for your music.
You saved up at the end of the week. You went to buy one album. And you listened
Great.
to the hell out of that album all week until you
Oh,
got
yeah.
to next time you could get to the record store and buy another album.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to get it. Go,
scrape
gee,
it.
I hope I like this.
And scraping your knuckles underneath the dashboard of your car trying to install an 8-track tape player.
Oh yeah, hack it into
Twisting
the
wires
ignition.
together, finding speakers that actually worked.
Hey, that coil wire's live. Why'd you hook it up to that?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Those are, I don't know. Things are too accessible. Well, I don't know. Some things are more accessible than others. Music's too taken for granted these days, because we're so saturated with,
There's so much to listen to.
access
You
to
don't really
everything
get
all
to
the
know
time,
an album.
24/7.
I like the algorithm. it knows what I want.
Me too.
You know, I'm all for it. I mean, I've trained YouTube to do what I want. You know, you just you gotta be careful, right? The thing is, like with your YouTube feed, I got a separate one, right? For like when I just want to, like, say I'm looking for something, I don't want it. I don't want to hear too much about it. I just want to know this one thing, and I want to move on, right? I don't want to get fucking hammered all week now with power tools or whatever the fuck I'm looking for, you know. So yeah, I've learned how to keep it away, like your browsing history and all that.
Mine's mostly
like it.
schizophrenic because I have so many different choices and I reject all the ads. So the ads, what they show me in ads are just all this
It's fine.
schizophrenic
Like
nonsense
when
because I
they
don't like anything.
no
Or
when
I
they
like
show me
things that are just too indifferent from each other, and it just makes it, I don't know, blow a fuse, I guess.
I'll watch an ad for
Uh,
Steve camping with Steve and shit. Fuck, I don't care. You know, that's how I look at it. I mean, YouTubers that I like, I'll sit through the thing. I don't mind it.
I don't know. I've
You
got
know?
an ad blocker, so I don't see the ads.
Well, that's you. I mean, that's how I look at it. But I mean, I'm usually watching people I like, so, and that's usually the ones that are really kind of devoted to being a YouTuber. So I don't feel bad about the ad or any of that shit. You know. Plus, I've taught the algorithm to give me the ad I want. So there's that. Usually, a lot of times it's like, oh, good, I didn't know that was coming out. You know, whatever the fuck.
Well,
It's working for me.
I haven't found the ad I want yet.
Well, that's because you got everything you need, Mike.
I've got more than what I need.
Yeah, I go, and it knows it. It says, I will just, how about this?
This guy's a waste. He's got everything. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
need
got all kinds
anything.
of stuff. Do you need
I
a
get too
lathe?
much stuff.
I don't.
the what?
A lathe. A bigger lathe. Lathe.
I do
Am I
need
saying it
another
right?
lathe. I do need another lathe.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What are you gonna do? It makes me money. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I need a money maker. That's different. That's for one of those. Some kind of thing that makes money.
All my tools make money.
Yeah, they do. Skills too.
Guns instead of butter.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I really have trouble buying something for myself, like for a hobby or for just pleasure or whatever. But if it's for the business, I have no trouble laying down money for it. You know,
That sucks.
like I don't know. I just like, oh, I need a tool. No problem. It's gonna
Tools are
make me
cool.
money. I buy it. And it's gonna make me money.
Guns instead of butter.
Yeah,
Guns
that's
and
it.
butter, right?
I have trouble buying butter.
Yeah, but I have entities around me that buy butter for me.
Oh, that's
This
nice.
shit melting all over the place. I got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm talking about. It's all code on the ocean road. We're talking code.
Yeah. Who understands the subtext?
Aha. Broke people.
Oh, Mikey couldn't get his computer working.
No.
I think he just got bored with the topic.
No.
I
I think he's just
Could make
bored
his
with
owl
us.
work. His cat fucked up his owl. Maybe he'll be back this time. Believe it or not. This goes on and on. Yeah, I was in the middle. I was editing all night. Me making this book. It's fucking great. It's a really good one this time.
Taking the niece, the grandniece, and the grandnephew to a corn maze tomorrow.
Ooh.
All right.
The
Yeah.
Swedish one?
Gonna wander around the Swedish one.
Yeah, it's one.
What?
One stalk in the middle of the field. Oh, it's a blonde corn maze. One. I
So
don't
which
get
one are
it.
you going to, George?
I think the one up Econk Farm.
Ah, cool.
It's still going. And something to do.
Yeah,
It's
we
going to
went
be
to one-
chilly tomorrow, I guess.
That's
First
what you
wind.
want. Ain't it?
Well, it
We
was
went to
so
one in
nice.
Townsend.
Then, like walking around in shorts for the past week or so was wonderful.
Well, that can't go on.
Then the weather's been wonderful.
Yeah,
Just
spring-
absolutely beautiful.
It's been dry though, huh? You notice like it's really dry.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I had
there's that
we had a fire a
stretch
couple of blocks over.
I've been like going. Yeah, I mean Johnson. You know the stretch, the quarter-mile stretch of Central Pike that I usually avoid is because it's swamp. It's like a huge swamp, and now it's nice and dry. I walk through,
Nice.
and it's beautifully dry, beautiful woods. And anyway,
Don't drop a match
but so fires in Johnson.
all over.
We got fires elsewhere too, right? A couple of
yeah.
fires.
Like it's
One in
dangerous right
Warwick,
now. Actually.
and
Man,
He's-
we're due for a big fire.
If it was
I've
windy,
never
I'd be
seen
nervous.
so much wood lying on the ground in the forest in my whole life.
Yeah.
Dead wood.
hey, remember that time I set your woods on fire?
Oh yeah.
I missed that. I heard about it though.
You and Mikey.
Should have been there. Where were you, Dave? You should have been there.
It wouldn't have happened if I was there. I remember that. What the story was, Mikey said, "Should I call Mike?" And you said, "No, call the fire department." I think that's how the story went.
All I know is I come home from work and Mikey comes running out of the woods. I hadn't seen him. He had come down from New Hampshire. I didn't expect to see him running out of the woods, you know. Comes running out of the woods and goes, "Call the fire department. I'm not kidding."
No, you don't have to say you're not kidding. I call anybody who says that. I'm not even going to second guess them. It's like
Anyways, that's you know, I'd like to do that every year. I'd like to see what it was be like if I could burn my forest every year, the way it used to be done in the old days. Because
We
it
did
really
that with
did
the
open it up
hayfield.
in a different way. Like it was really cool back there for a while. Just that one burning. It would have been nice to like burn it a few times, burn it every year.
my grandparents did that with the field.
Well,
Mike.
it wasn't
Yeah.
Every year. the
wasn't
fire
that much
department come
burned
down.
though. Just
No.
some underbrush.
No, and if you do it every year, it won't. It's not a long fire. It won't burn the trees. It'll just burn through the ground, burn the leaves and the twigs, and then it'd be done. You know,
Yeah, that's
if you do it every year.
the forest in Yakima was like
But
that.
yeah, I remember when in the springtime, everybody would burn their fields. Everybody around Harmony would burn their fields every spring.
This place would just catch fire. There's nothing you could do about it, and all the trunks were burnt, but they didn't die. And all the bark on the ground, you could just, it was like kindle. It was like these great pieces
Oh
of
yeah,
wood. So you
Sequoia
could
was
just-
like that.
Yeah. But
They
that
had
place,
burn marks all over them, but they didn't die.
nah, it's almost part of it. They'd like lose that bark. It's falling off anyway. It makes like a, Jesus, the minute you go in that forest, there's a canopy and nothing but this, like, almost like shingles from a house, just like everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just light it. We could light it with a bic, and like get a thing going. I used to light fires out there, but right next to the river, right on the muddy bank, and just stay close to it. And if things got weird, just kicked it into the river. You know. But that place burned a lot. That was near Mount St. Helens. That's how those woods were.
It was meant to burn.
Yeah,
Sequoia.
yeah.
Periodically,
You could see
It's
on the
meant to
tree
burn.
that had burnt. That was like sometimes black. And
Some
shit,
of those
but it was
trees
fine.
don't
yes,
even.
and
Their seeds won't even open until they burn. They need the fire
Right.
to actually reproduce.
like the black pine will do that.
right.
Even up here, the black pine won't even open, and unless there's a fire.
You gotta burn it. Yeah, it's a thing.
We're due for one in Rhode Island.
Fire.
There's a plaque down in Arcadia that talks about a big fire that burnt half of Rhode Island in the 40s.
Great. So there's that. That's what I mean.
So
we have one over
again,
here.
it
It
will
just wasn't
happen.
windy though. Wind's got an enemy. If we don't get rain and it gets windy next, that could be bad. That could actually happen then. So we got that going for us. Woo-hoo. Now we don't podcast this week. My room is full of smoke. The bad kind.
I had a cousin in
Johnson's on fire.
California.
You know what that smell like? Not good.
Oh yeah, I know what forest fires smell like. I had a cousin in California lost everything to a wildfire out there.
Did he live?
Yeah, they're alive.
Well, he
but
didn't
they
lose
lost-
everything then, did he?
They lost it. They lost all their house and their cars and everything.
That's
animals.
liberating. Road trip.
It is. It is. When you have when I lost everything in a fire, it was
Fuck yeah, you
great.
get
I just
giddy
had a
almost.
sack of dirty laundry and an old pickup truck, and it was actually very liberating because I had accumulated a lot of junk, a lot of stuff I didn't actually need, I guess.
You need those laser
It was
discs,
wonderful, but
Did Lito
after
need all
that,
those
though,
dead
everybody
tapes?
says, "Well, you can't have nothing. You got to have stuff." And so everybody kept dropping off
George? I
stuff.
know.
Here, have
I
more
threw in a
stuff.
sweater or two. I didn't even see.
Yeah.
I just threw it in the box. We're doing this for George. I mean, I saw the
Yeah,
culprits.
there's some junk. Can't have nothing. Man.
Yeah.
Like it's like it is now. I don't want to bring anything in the house, man.
Hey, your dog thinks I'm the
We're all
dog. Don't like me
we're all
from here.
drowning and stuff.
Yeah, you are.
There, well,
I seen it. I see that big pile. Jesus, you still got those dead tapes. What the fuck?
I don't even have. I don't even have. Well, yeah, I do have something now, but for a while there, I had nothing to listen to them on. I mean, I had no working cassette player.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, if you put one of them
do you
tapes
guys
in,
have
you
a
won't
working
have one
cassette
again.
player? Do you? I mean, I don't even have. I bought my wife a cassette player, but that's it. I don't.
No, I don't have.
If you put that tape,
I don't
if
even
you
have a
put
CD
tape,
player anymore.
if you put that tape in a machine, you'd ruin it. Those tapes do that. No, I mean, I wouldn't put that tape in anything. It would just rub the head. It just get this coating of black shit on the head. That's all it would do. Those tapes are old, unless you've had them in like
They're losing the
somewhere.
magnetic media on the mylar. That magnetic media, that rust that they use
Yeah.
for holding. Yeah, that's they lose that after a while. It decays.
You know
Just
those,
like videotapes and all that stuff. Tape
this-
media.
all that NASA tape. They used to use the 9-track, the big round ones you saw in like Lost in Space and shit. Those fuckers, right? I used those 9-tracks for the lottery tickets. We plugged it into the high-speed inkjet press, right? And those things fail a lot. And like I saw that NASA had lost a bunch of shit, like even Neil Armstrong stuff, right? And and everybody's going like, how could they let that happen? Well, they put it on those fucking tapes. I mean, they hardly held anything, and they were huge and heavy, and they deteriorated fast.
And they're very expensive too.
Well, that wasn't.
And they were reused a lot because they were very expensive.
But they fail a lot. I could see them losing it. It was a lousy medium in the first place, you know. Amazing we got any of it all. Oh, we got all this shit that the TV showed us. But they had the NASA feed, and they had a TV camera up against the NASA feed. The NASA feed was the shit, right? It was like high def and shit. And what we got is a fucking TV camera up against a stupid monitor, and you know,
Right.
that's all we get. And that's all lost. They lost it. It wasn't an alien. It wasn't anything. It was just equipment. Equipment sucked. You know, it's amazing any of it worked in the first place. It's true.
Yeah.
Like that Lunar Lander computer is wild. I saw a guy talk about it for an hour because I could sit through something like that. The thing was amazing. You know what got him to land? Oh fuck! There's that error message. On the way down, suddenly it crashed. You know, rebooting. It was a memory fault. It was and they solved it on the way down. There was Buzz Aldrin. He was like dick. Yeah, okay, and it did it again, and then. He said, well, we're not going to do it again. Yeah. So then Neil, ooh, rocks. That's the fucking
the American hero took control of it and landed it manually, and
it wasn't completely like
the rest is history.
But yeah.
But still.
Yeah, it was wild. I'll find it. Actually, I know I can find it because all I have to do is just start. If I enter Apollo Lander, it'll probably finish computer and give me that link again because it knows me. And then I'll send it to you. I won't have any problem finding that. It's fascinating as hell.
Ooh, baby, that's what I like.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Techno babble.
Yeah.
Techno babble. So I'll go back to making my. This book is a shit. I love this guy. I'm going
Good.
through everything. Eric Lawson. I read this one. This is the Marconi one. I went through that. I'm on this one. Isaac Storm. Next one is Devil in the White City. This is like the 1898 World's Fair or 96. This guy had a fucked up fun house, a murder house, like all these dead ends and whatnot. Yeah. This shit really happened. Devil in the White City. And the worst one he ever wrote was, well, for me, was 1933 in Germany. Our ambassador there, what he went through. He had a dog.
Oh, I remember that. You've
Devil in
lent.
the White
I read that.
Right. The Garden of the Beasts or something like that. That was fucked up.
Right.
There was Americans would just
Yeah,
get
it was-
fucking punched right in the face for not doing the salute, right? And he was dealing with that. Like citizens would come in and say, "Motherfuckers just hit me." So then he'd go to
He
the
was an American ambassador and his
Yeah.
family living in Berlin in the 30s and seeing the
33.
rise of the
1933. He went over there.
Nazis. And yeah.
That was the height of
Very
fucked
interesting.
upness. It all
Yes.
It all came with that. I read you ever read Christopher Ursherwood, Berlin Days? Like Cabaret and all that bullshit. That's kind of like his stuff.
I've seen the movie.
Well, all right, this is just about how they were just before Hitler took over and
Yeah,
killed everybody. It was sort of like how you just sit there and kind of like it's there, but you ignore it, sort of. You know it's bad and you know it's coming. But, yeah, we're still going
It
to
just
go.
gets like a slow
We're going on a
boil,
picnic. We're going to the lake.
slow burn.
We're going to live
Yeah,
until
it just gets worse and worse until you're just there's more than you can deal with. And
Berlin Days.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right. Well, there's nothing you can do about it anyway, except maybe, live it up till the end. Just,
Yeah.
what are we going to do? Let's go to the lake.
I mean, how much control do we have on
None.
this?
You have
We
no
get
control,
swept up
man.
in the political climate. How much can we really control?
Can't do
I mean, this
Can't do
is
You can flow with it.
things.
you
Things
know?
can
It's
have a
your
life
right.
of
You
their
don't
own.
control yourself, George.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's it.
I'm just staying above it here, up in orbit around Venus.
That's a cool spot.
Jupiter.
Seems to be some kind of storm going on. Several.
Right there.
Yeah. And they think that storm in Galveston was bad. That fucking thing.
Yeah.
blew all the people all away.
Hey, like nobody talks about Uranus, but that thing's like an ice giant, and they
Except
might
the
have
proctologist.
diamonds floating diamonds like icebergs. That's what the core could look like. Like if it's an ice giant, they're not
In a
gas giants,
sea
they're
of
ice giants.
methane.
That one in Neptune, they're different.
Floating diamonds in a sea of...
Yeah. It could be. They could be doing that. It could be like that down there. That's how wild that look. Well, we'll never find out. I'm going to go ahead and think that's exactly what's going on. How you like that? Yeah, I'm running with it. You can't stop me.
I think we live on the richest planet because here we have molten ice. We live amongst molten ice.
Right, I know,
molten
right?
ice
Yeah, that's
provides
crazy.
us with a
How can
medium
you
of
live
light
in that?
because few places in the universe have molten ice.
I know.
We live on planets that have molten ice.
This is the only planet we know of that has fire.
Yeah, we got oxygen. That's a motherfucker. That's dangerous as hell. We should
got
have all this
fire.
oxygen.
There are no fires in the solar system.
No.
Besides, well, I guess the sun is not quite a fire; it's a nuclear reaction.
That's the loudest thing. Like you asked, dead people, when they get hearing, apparently, they always thought the sun made noise, and they always thought it might be loud, and they're surprised it makes no noise. You know what I mean? They knew about noise, but they never heard noise, but they understood the concept of it. So they just quietly look at the sun and go, I bet that's fucking loud. You know what I mean? And it is.
Yeah.
Like if there was air, boy, I break your
Oh,
ear
yeah.
drums. Yeah.
be ear shattering.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
be louder than you could possibly take.
Probably. Yeah, but I thought that was weird. I don't know if all deaf people are like that, but that's the thing. They're surprised to find out that there's no noise coming from that thing. Jesus, that's gotta make noise. Like, you know.
Probably does, like, because we spoke about this before. I mean, we perceive the universe in such a narrow band. I mean,
Oh,
there
right,
are
yeah. They're all
things making
yeah.
noises that we can't conceive, things that we can smell that we can't smell. There are things we can see we can't see. That so much that other things like even dog, the kind of universe a dog would lives in, where he can smell and hear
Yeah,
things that
smelling
we
things.
can't even conceive of, or just I know, and we think that's like the sum total of existence, but other things can perceive things beyond our narrow range. That
That's it, yeah.
like seeing, like smelling colors and hearing colors
Oh, now we're talking.
and and seeing
There
sound
we go.
and
It's starting to
seeing
kick in, Jerry.
electromagnetic radiation. I don't know.
No, it's awesome.
Well, that's it. I mean, we get a taste of that when we hallucinate, when we're high on drugs.
What
We
you
get a
got
little
up there
taste of
in Fawcett there,
the
George? What you
perceiving
got up
past the
there?
normal band of perception. That's what it's all about. And
Hey, did you ever have the universe on my fingertip moment? Did you ever do that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did too. I mean, that's a thing.
everybody does it.
My brain did that. And then it turns out I'm not alone with that thought. I just thought it was original for me right then. So, but nobody thought of this. And then, turns out everybody has. Well, a lot of people have. People, certain people.
There's nothing that
the universe on your fingertip. I'm not sure. I guess
We
it
have a
had to have
title.
been there.
Universe on your fingertip. Give me a break. It took all.
Well, yeah, you start thinking about, you go from thinking about big to thinking about small, and then really small, and then pretty soon you're thinking like, Horton Hears a Who or something,
Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of like that one. I like the Dr. Seuss ones. I remember
Yeah,
dog.
it's like half
Go
the
dog go.
universe is bigger than your finger, and half the universe is smaller than your finger. And
Yeah.
so you're only in the middle of everything. Everything
Here we
comes
are in the
around
middle,
to the
stuck in the
beginning.
middle with you.
I know. Things get bigger. Things get smaller.
Well, too bad for you.
I'm just right. We're just the right size.
That's right.
These
Oh,
small
well.
things.
The Three Bears. What was the girl's name in the Three Bears? Goldilocks.
Yeah.
We're in the Goldilocks zone, as they say.
Yeah. Goldilocks. Everything's just right.
Oh,
This
that's pretty
planet
good.
is too hot, and this one is too cold, but this one is just right. There's a big
That's
old
right.
mean bear outside wanting in.
So, what are you guys doing? What's on the agenda for today?
I'm gonna finish the
Oh, I don't
video,
know.
and then I'm gonna try and find a comment, I guess. I don't know what's the weather gonna be tonight. I didn't even look yet.
Tell you in a minute. I'll look for you.
You look for me. The weather will be fire.
Says Saturday night mostly clear, low around 35. Northwest wind around 10 miles per hour. Gusts as high as 25.
Cool. It's cool. That means all that fucking water will not be floating around up there in the
There
atmosphere.
will be no water floating around in the air. There might be a few clouds here and there,
You know what's good for overhead
which is
when it's
technically
foggy.
water floating around.
In the fog, you got a good chance above your head because all the fucked up shit's down here with you. That's how they do it in London. Those are actually good nights for astrophotography.
Really?
Yeah, this guy I follow there because it's a lousy place to be an to get into the hobby, to have a telescope in fucking London, right? So,
Right.
like following him, I've learned a lot of stuff like that. One one guy told him, says, try it on a foggy night, but straight up. And he went, holy shit, look at this. You know? So that's a thing. You got to wear a mist.
One night I was on the airfield when I was working there for a little while, and it was foggy, and so foggy you couldn't see or hear the rest of Warwick.
Yeah,
we were in
that's
the
cool,
middle
right?
of where all the runways and taxiways came together, and the lights went down into nothing.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was
That
wild.
would be a rare thing.
Yeah, you couldn't see or hear
It's
Warwick.
noisy as hell.
Yeah,
24/7.
See you
Fog
guys,
was
man.
lit. You still got 30 seconds, Dave.
Okay. I'm just saying. Say goodbye then.
All right, see
I'm
you.
turning the gun.
All right.
I haven't got this thing to. Oh, there's a clock, huh?
Yeah, there's a little clock up here in the corner.
I ain't
Here
paying
you go.
attention.
Watch this. Watch the little
There it
dark.
goes. Now
Watch it
it's
gets
less.
dark as it goes around. You've got like 15 seconds or whatever. It's like going around, and then when it gets to the end, that's where they cut you off.
It wants my credit card number. Can't.
All right.
5,
Well,
4,
see you,
3,
boys.
2, 1.